Good morning, scholars.
Good morning, Ms. Brandon.
So we're going to touch base on where we were talking earlier about the main idea, the author's purpose, fact from opinion, and we were talking about fiction from nonfiction. Capiche? So, Walter, explain to the class the difference of main idea versus theme.
The difference from main idea versus theme. Theme is an underlying word.
Who wants to help him with that? Okay, Sanai, help him out with that.
Theme is an underlying message.
So, Walter, what is theme?
Theme is an underlying message.
Now, continue to explain how that's very different from the main idea.
It's very different from the main idea because a main idea is what's the story about.
It's what the story is mostly about. So, Denver, track up here. We are going to be working this entire week. We are working on theme, main idea, with the details, of course. Details that are supporting the main idea. Thank you for tracking me. We're also going to be working on the fact from opinion. And by the end of the week, we're going to be tackling 2 different texts, explaining how they compare and how there's some contrasts in them. Within those 2 texts, we're also going to be talking about the different authors' opinions and the purpose for them writing them. There's a big word out there we talked about earlier, the big P word. What is that?
Persuade.
Persuade. Keep that filed not too far back in the back of your head. We're going to be going right back to that. So, before we start this, remember the text that we're working on. So, Janice, what is the text that we're working on?
The text we're working on is video games are good for kids.
So before we even start with that, that is the title of our text, right? We're not even going to go into text 2 until tomorrow, correct? A good thinker thinks about a text always as a story, or can a text be thought of differently than just a story?
Differently.
So if I'm thinking about something that's fiction versus nonfiction, how would I attack a text that is fiction? How might I go about looking at a fiction text? How do I think about it? Ava, track Ava.
You think about fiction text is that it doesn't have real characters.
So how do I read it? How do I go about reading a text? I'm reading it with what? Who would like to help? Okay, so Samira, help her out.
On a fiction text, you have to read a fiction text in order.
You have to read a fiction text in order. And I'm reading it for what? What is my purpose? What is my purpose, Raylan?
The reason why you're reading it is...
Why am I reading a fiction text? Why am I reading all these books over here, Raylan? Raylan, why do you read all those books over there? For what?
You read all of them so you can understand.
So why would you read a story, guys? For what purpose? Solomon.
You read a story for entertainment.
Yeah, for entertainment, for pure enjoyment. Raylan, why do you read all those different books over there?
To get entertainment.
To enjoy entertainment. I read books to enjoy. I enjoy reading them. But we're going to also tackle some nonfiction. How am I going to read a nonfiction? I'm not going to read it how, Jaslyn?
You're not gonna read the fiction text in order.
Okay, I'm not going to read it in order necessarily. How else might I not read this fiction text?
You may not read the fiction text just reading.
Like how, Raylan?
A glossary.
How might I not read this fiction text?
Not read a nonfiction text as a story.
You're not going to read it as a story. Why would I not read it as a story? Why would I not do that? Because a story is for a different purpose, but how come I would not read it like a story? Okay, go, Jasmine.
You would not read a nonfiction text like a story because a nonfiction text has to be informational, and a story is
For pure
entertainment.
pure pleasure. That's where we're going to start tracking it. Okay, look at me. Thank you. I think I just got to snap that ooze. Okay, eyes on me. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to break up in 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go right into our strategy. We're going to go into our
Strategy.
We're going to do our 4 square. Okay, we're going to do our jigsaw puzzle, which we like to call our 4 square. My 1s, raise your hand. My 2s, 3s, 4s. This this is your task. Track me, please. Put your pencil, your board, and your text in your hand, and put your eyes on me and plant your feet. All right. Here's what you're going to do. Our whole goal today, just in this moment, we are going to tackle the main idea. We're not even going to go into identifying the details yet. That will be much later. First, we're going to tackle the main idea. Show me a paragraph, hand. When you have your paragraph, there are 3 different places that we're going to look. Each team, it's okay, let it go. Each team is going to tackle the paragraph and identify the main idea in each paragraph. Show me where we can find our paragraph. In the first sentence of a paragraph, in the last, or throughout. If I do go throughout, though, is that going to be a long paragraph or a short paragraph? It's going to be a short paragraph if I'm actually going throughout. So, you're not only going to go and find your main idea, but you have to find out where it's at. So I'm going to call upon you and say, where did you find it? Stop moving around. Stop swaying. Get focused. Your mind needs to get sharp right now. You're going to go and find the main idea. You're also going to go and find out where it's at and be able to express it. What are we going to do, Shaquasia?
We are going to read.
You're going to reread your what?
We're going to reread our paragraph.
Mm-hmm. Now, after you're done rereading your paragraph, what are you going to do next, Zaret?
What you're going to do next is identify the main idea in that paragraph.
Right. Are we going to look for details quite yet?
No.
When you identify the main idea, you should be able to tell the group where the main idea was, where it was found. Right. You're going to be able to say it's in the beginning, it's in the middle, it's throughout. All right. Tracking me. I'm just going to dismiss you to go when you're going to go. And I'm going to give you how many minutes to discuss this main idea?
3.
3 minutes. Excellent. In those 3 minutes, I am progress monitoring you to determine who is participating versus
Not
right. If you observe, are you going to learn much?
No.
If you participate, you learn everything, and this really matters. Are you ready to dismiss?
Yes, ma'am.
1s, go. 2s. 3s. And 4s. So get yourselves in your huddle. When I say begin, Solomon, track your huddle, Solomon. Get yourself in that Solomon. In that huddle, Solomon. So when I say begin, I'm going to walk around and I want to hear a very wonderful, educated, intelligent sentences coming from the entire group. This is where you're getting your points for your participation. You are identifying your main idea. Are there any questions before I let you begin? Ready? Get in your huddles. I don't want to hear anything past a level 2. You may begin.
Video games can help make learning more fun. Children are more likely to have their role into information when they are at video games can also
Who's going to be the spokesperson? You can.
in some games players usually appear as participated
We're not doing this one, but we need to.
I think the main idea is that I think the main idea is that the author thinks
I added on 1 additional minute because of the reading.
kids video games because the author thinks it's good for their health. Where did you find how?
Thank you for helping me with this episode. Okay, who's gonna be the spokesperson? All right, Jocelyn just came in, let's let her have a chance. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Track Miss Brandon, please. All right, so as we go through, I think everyone's already decided who's gonna be your spokesperson. And so spokespersons, raise your hand, please. Who is it back there? Is it, who would you choose to be? Fine, that's fine, as long as there's a decision. So spokespersons, raise your hand. I thought you decided it was Jocelyn. All right, good. Eyes on me. All right. So now here's where we go to. I saw great participation, a lot of great points going on. We saw one that we had to hurry up and get going, and nice comeback, very good. So now I want to hear where you found your main idea as well as